Hello. So, I want to briefly discuss one of the more prevalent issues that most of you probably have when it comes to applying so many of these cool spiritual and manifesting concepts into your life and how to make it so it stops bothering you as much. We'll cover that briefly today. But before we do that, a couple of reminders. First of all, my book that I wrote last year, Money Your Friend, which is a very unique book and pertains to what we're going to discuss today in terms of how you judge yourself. Uh, Money Your Friend pertains to how you judge yourself in regards to money. Anyway, that book is free. Digital copies are free on Kindle and on other ebook platforms today. Still free. It's been free all month. I'll put a link below. Make sure to get yourself a copy if you don't already have it. If you like my stuff, I think you'll find some of the stuff in that book very valuable and probably unique. You in all likelihood have not heard information like this elsewhere. Money Your Friend free. Link is in the description. Secondly, I'm going to host a free group coaching session. If you're watching this video within 24 hours after it comes out, I'm hosting a free group coaching session Wednesday, December 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern. The Zoom link for that Wednesday, December 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern Zoom session is also in the description. So Money Your Friend and the Zoom link for the free group coaching session on Wednesday the 18th are both in the description. If you've never joined us for a group session, it's not the normal law of attraction horse shit. We've got a pretty relaxed vibe. Perhaps not as relaxed as I am right now in this room, but pretty darn relaxed. And yeah, it's a very supportive environment. So we haven't had one of these in a free group session in a while. You're welcome to join if you like on Wednesday. And thirdly, I think, and I'm curious if anybody wants to comment in the comments. I think that I'm going to go over some of the advice that Joseph Murphy, or as I like to call him, Joey Murphy, shares in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind in regards to marital relations. In other words, SP advice. I said the other day, I'll say it again, Joseph Murphy is a better SP coach or teacher than Neville is, at least for most of you, as is Florence Scovel Shin. But yeah, Murphy's a very underrated SP teacher, quite honestly. And I think it would be worthwhile for me to review that chapter. And I think I'll pull Marvin in and have him give some commentary too about it if he wants. For those of you who don't know, Marvin and I do SP coaching, the most serious and in-depth SP coaching that you'll probably find. I'll put a questionnaire if you're interested in having a free consultation to see if we can help you. I'll put that in the description as well. So many links in this description. It's just going to be incredible. Unbelievable. On to today's topic. I was speaking to my therapist this morning, who I've worked with now for 5 years and I'm very close to. And, we were talking about how a real problem, this is a problem in therapeutic circles, but it's much more of a problem in the spiritual world, self-improvement world, and, especially, the world we focus on, the law of attraction, manifesting space. A real problem is people thinking that because it works for somebody or it works for some people, it should work for me. And there's something wrong with me if I don't do it this way, if I can't make this work, quote unquote, work. The manifesting community, generally speaking, is very, very immature when it comes to acknowledging the individual differences that we all have and how unique we are as human beings. Generally speaking, these LOA ideas, these law of assumption ideas, are great when we use them as general guidelines and signposts along the highway of our manifesting journey. But where we're flexible enough to realize that they're guidelines and underlying ideas that can help us, but that they're not set in stone and that they're not actually laws and shouldn't be interpreted dogmatically. And if we do interpret them dogmatically and we don't feel good That's no coincidence. That's because we are not interpreting them in a way that individually works for us. Therapies, I think does a much better job. Counseling does a much better job at acknowledging the whole of the individual a lot of the time than this manifesting stuff does. In my opinion, there's very little difference between counseling, therapy, self-improvement, and law of attraction manifesting advice. And I'm sure this makes many of you uncomfortable when I say this. It probably makes many of you uncomfortable that, I'm a so-called expert in law of attraction concepts and I even go to therapy. And the truth is, we're looking through all this stuff through just dumbass rose-tinted glasses when we do that. You are going to struggle with these law of assumption and law of attraction ideas if you're trying to apply them. And you are going to come up against your individual quirks and quote-unquote flaws. And you are either going to work with them or you are going to give up. Manifesting advice is not an easy way out. I'm here to tell you there is no easy way out, except for the obvious way out, which is to acknowledge the present moment and realize that you are okay right now. But that often seems easier said than done. But to think that you're going to elevate to such a place in consciousness where nothing bothers you and you're just miraculously enlightened and, everything's shimmering around you. I hear that kind of language or that kind of pipe dream talk all the time. And I'm here to tell you it's bullshit, at least for 99.99% of you. What makes this channel different, what makes my coaching different than most of this LOA-oriented advice is that we get real and we get deep. And when we get deep, we realize that a lot of these great LOA teachers, as practical and pragmatic as they often were, they did not get deep enough or real enough with themselves, let alone with the people they were teaching. So again, this is probably going to make a lot of you uncomfortable. But that doesn't matter because some of you will get it. A lot of spiritual traditions are much more honest about being uncomfortable with uncertainty. LOA is not good at that a lot of the time. And I would like it so you become more comfortable with the uncertainty and see that these LOA tools are often completely complementary and often essentially the same thing when we actually start integrating them into our lives as therapeutic modalities or self-improvement ideas or other spiritual ideas. So if you want to get real, there's many ways to do it. And like I said, we have these free options coming up, this free group coaching call. Money Your Friend is a way to get real about your relationship with money. And we'll be doing this Joseph Murphy SP YouTube free course, I think, sometime soon. Any questions, let me know. Until next time, keep it real.